All right, so today we're going to start a new shape. It's going to be a letter block. So we're going to go up to Create, Document, type in letter block, and hit OK. Okay, so we want to be in metric, so we're going to go to the 3 lines. We're going to go down to Workspace Units, and we're going to change this to millimeters. Hit the check. So we have our front, top, and right side work planes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the front and right so that I only have the top one. I'm going to go to Sketch. I'm going to click on the top work plane. And so now you see there's a sketch sitting on the top work plane. I'm going to go to the view cube and click top. Now I'm looking straight at the top work plane. I'm ready to draw a rectangle. So I'm going to come up here to the rectangle tool. I'm going to choose the center point as my first point. And I'm going to drag out here and I'm going to click. I'm going to type in 20 millimeters and hit enter. 20 millimeters and hit enter. And so that's going to be the base of our letter block. So I'm going to hit the check mark. I'm going to go to the view cube and I'm going to look at it in 3D. So I'm going to click on this corner of the view cube so that I can see it in 3 dimensions. Then I'm going to go to extrude. I'm going to click on my square so I can see what it's going to look like. And I want to change this to 20 and then hit the check mark. The next thing I want to do is I want to click on this side and I'm going to create a new sketch on this. So I'm going to right click, new sketch. I'm going to click on the front view. I'm going to draw a rectangle inside of this. This rectangle is going to be 16 by 16. Now I want this to be perfectly centered within the cube, so I want to use extra dimensions to go from the edge of this rectangle to the edge of this rectangle. And this dimension should be 2, because if you have 2 here, 16 here, and then 2 here, that equals 20. I'm also going to add a dimension down here for this to be 2 as well. And you can see at this point, everything's turned black, so the computer is happy. So we're ready to extrude our sketch. Click on the check mark, and I'm going to click on the corner of this so I can see in 3D again. I'm also going to turn off the top view work plane so that I can see just the square. And I can come up here to this and I can click zoom to fit. That makes it a little bit bigger and easier to see. So we're going to go to extrude. We're going to click on the inside of this and we want to remove material and we want this depth to be just a little bit. So we'll say a 0.5 millimeter. All right, so that looks pretty good. What I want to do now is I want to draw a sketch on this bottom face. I'm going to go to sketch and then I'm going to click on that face. And so now I'm going to click on the front again. Okay, so on each side of this letter block, we're going to expect you to draw a letter or some sort of symbol. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to text and I'm going to draw a rectangle inside of this. And it's going to ask for default text. I'm just going to put a letter A here, a capital letter A, and I'm going to hit check. So I have this A here, but it's a little too big. So I want to use my dimension tool for the height. I'm not too concerned about the width, and I want this height to be 12. So now this looks like it's the right height. I'm going to hit escape to exit the dimension tool. And if I grab the bottom edge of this, I can move this around. And so basically I'm just going to put it right in the center. For this, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to dimension it into place. Just get it pretty close to center. When I hit the check mark, 3D view, and I can extrude this, and I want it to be 0.5 millimeters. And that looks good, so I'm going to hit the check mark And there I have my first side of my letter block. Now let's say we wanted to do a symbol instead of a letter. So what I have is I have this happy face. I like this. I want to use a happy face. So what I need to do is I need to save the image to my computer. So I'm going to save image as. In this situation, I'm just going to save it to my downloads folder. Then I'm going to return to Onshape. Okay, so I want to put that happy face in here. So I'm going to come over right next to dimension, this little arrow. You might have to click on the arrow to get to insert image. When I click insert image, I'll have to import my happy face. It's in my downloads folder, so here it is. I'm gonna click open, and you'll see that I already did this once before, but it shows that it's importing, and the one that doesn't have a happy face, this is the one I want. Okay, so then I come in here and I draw my happy face. Now I want this to be the right height, so I'm gonna click on the height, and I want this to be 12 millimeters. And again, what I want to do is I want to get this generally centered. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm going to hit escape to stop dimensioning. And I'm going to grab this corner and I'm just going to move it around so it looks centered. So I'm going to draw a circle for the outside of the head. So I'm going to click somewhere right close to the middle and come out here. Now it's not perfectly centered. So what I can do is I can hit escape to get out of the circle tool, grab the center, and I can move it up and down and left and right so that it matches. So I'm ready to draw the mouth and the eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here. Instead of circle, I'm going to draw an ellipse. I'm going to click on the center of the eye, the outside of the eye, and the top of the eye. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here. I can click the top first and then the side. Okay. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to hit escape to get out of the ellipse tool. So what I need to do is I need to draw this happy face. What I plan on doing is I plan on drawing an arc for the bottom and top. And then for the ends, I'm just going to draw a straight line. So I'm going to come over here to 3-point arc. You choose this side first, then this side, and then you bring it down just like that. Okay, that's the top line. Click there, click here, and then draw the bottom. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now all I need is a straight line that goes from this to this. And I'll draw another one from here to here. That looks pretty good. So I'm gonna hit escape. I'm gonna click the check mark, and now I'm ready to extrude this. So I'm gonna go into a 3D view, and I'm going to extrude. I wanna extrude this yellow part. So I'm gonna click right in there, and I want this to be 0.5 millimeters. All right, that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna hit the check mark, and there it is. And you'll see that the picture actually disappears, but if I wanna go back into that sketch 3, the picture's still there. It's just not visible after you have extruded that sketch. Okay, so you're gonna do that for all 6 sides. Have fun with it. Draw something that's gonna mean something to you.